How you guys doing? My name is Matt Balducci, high performance coach and entrepreneur, and I'm welcoming you to my book review portion of my channel. And in 2018, I'm going to be reading 60 plus books, and I hope you actually enjoy some of my previous book reviews as I spend a lot of time putting together my top 4 to 5 takeaways from each book. So again, today we're going to cover The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Now again, my number one goal of this portion of my channel is to get more people to read books. So if you haven't noticed in my previous videos, my background has changed. I got a little Superman behind me. I got some new backdrops that are going to be coming in for my next batch of these awesome book reviews. But I want to cover today, guys, my top 4 takeaways. And the reason I love this book so much, if you don't know who Darren Hardy is, look him up. He's one of the top self-development authors and speakers in the world. He's up there with guys like Tony Robbins, Brendan Burchard, and different high-achieving motivational speakers. And this book is great. If you in the past, I had my channel, it was called the Slight Edge Network. I adjusted that, but the reason is this book is very similar to Slight Edge by Joel Olson. And the reason I love both of those books, and especially this one, is this book I actually read in one day on one flight. I was able to listen to the whole entire thing on a 5-hour flight from Maryland to California. And I got a ton of value from it. And again, it just reminds you over and over and over again of the compound effect, right? So my number one takeaway from this book, guys, is what's called the MVP, my most valuable priorities. And what Darren Hardy talks about is setting your top 3. Now, I've seen top 5, I've seen all the different numbers, but here's the crazy part. If you read lots of books like I do and you look it up, one of the key things that I've learned about successful people is that they focus on specifics. So they don't try to do a million things in a day. They focus on 3 to 5 items and they knock them off their list. So when he talks about this, my most valuable priorities, what does most valuable mean? Depends on what value is to you. It might be generating more income. With all the business owners I coach, one of the biggest things I notice is that a lot of times they waste their time on things that actually are not generating revenue. And I've been there before. I know what it's like to put time into something that actually isn't really growing my company. And sometimes a lot of entrepreneurs don't know when it's time to hire somebody to do the little things that suck, that aren't helping them grow their company. And if you look up any wildly successful entrepreneur, obviously maybe in the beginning you can't afford it, but any wildly successful entrepreneur is focusing on specific things in their business. So what are your most valuable priorities, your MVPs, right? So pick your top 3 every single day. And I love that from Darren Hardy. Number 2, never ask somebody for advice who does not have the result you want. I'm a huge believer in this, right? So if you're trying to make $1 million, why would you ask somebody who makes $200,000? Or why would you take advice from somebody whose bank account is not bigger than yours? Right? Now, again, there might be some sort of specialty they have or so on. And I coach some people who make more money than I do, but that's because we're at a certain level of income where we can both help each other out, or I can coach them on specific things in their business, right? But again, I'm trying to grow my $2.5 million company to $6 million. I can't go talk to somebody who runs a $200,000 business. It doesn't make any sense. Now, they might know little things, like I said, but again, it doesn't work. If I'm trying to have a successful marriage, I'm not going to go talk to somebody about if they had a divorce. Now, I might ask them, why did they have a divorce? Right? And that might help me. But again, guys, don't take advice from people who don't have your result, because typically those people are giving you bad advice, right? And I see it all the time. And I've caught myself in my life taking advice from people that do not have the result I want. So that's number 2. So again, if you watch any of my book reviews and any of my videos, I'm all about habits. I'm all about success. I'm all about creating different forms in terms of how to create a habit, right? If you go read the book Power of Habit. But in this book, it's unbelievable. He calls it the brain grooves and neuroplasticity, right? If you don't know what that is, read the book The Brain That Changes Itself, or Incognito by David EAGLEMAN. But basically what it talks about is that your brain can recreate habits. Now, you can't create new ones, you have to actually replace bad habits or replace a habit. That's for a different book. But in his, it's called brain grooves. So in our brain, we have certain circuits, right? And we have to adjust it. And the way you do that is you have to continuously, consistently do the things that are going to change it over time and create a brain groove, right? And again, when you read the book, guys, you'll understand it. But I highly recommend, if you're trying to be successful, you have to study how the brain works. How does it create habits? How does it function? Why do you get, when you get angry, why do you not have full clarity anymore, right? How do you control your emotions? How do you control those different things when you're in a situation that sucks or you're in a flight or flight response, right? You have to learn that. Number 4 is to create anything. Successful people understand that it takes about 25 months, over 2 years. And the crazy part is it's called the compound effect. The whole entire book, the compound effect, is that it takes a long time to get results, right? And so it might take 4 months to even see a little bit of results. And then you get the little bit of results, and then you start a little bit, and then you move. And then once you get to month 25 to 27, what Darren Hardy talks about is those next 2 months are where you're going to see exponential compound effect, right? And month 25 and month 27, it's all about the penny doubling, if you've ever seen that, right? So doubles, and boom, all of a sudden you get to these big gargantuan doubling, and it's insane. And the same thing goes for everything, guys. I just went through a huge fitness training or fitness transformation that has allowed my body to go from 27% down to a little under 9% body fat. And I'm doing my first fitness show in the fall, and I know I talk about that in all my videos, but it's been a compound effect. Every day I go to the gym, every day I eat the right way, it actually allows for my body. And sometimes you hit a wall, right, and it slows down, and then you got to make an adjustment and create a brain groove, right? And then you can continuously get the compound effect, which then pops, right? And I've seen it in business, I've seen it in life, I've seen it in relationships. So again, I'm going to break down the top 4 takeaways from the compound effect by Darren Hardy. And I recommend you guys subscribe below, leave a comment if you've read this book or you're going to, and I hope you guys check out some of my previous book reviews. So number 1 is MVP, most valuable priorities. Pick top 3 every day and knock them off your list. You will instantly achieve success. Maybe not instantly. Number 2, never ask someone advice if you don't want their result. Okay, very simple. You hear it all the time. Brain grooves. Neuroplasticity is my number 3. Last but not least is the compound effect. Once you get to month 25 to 27, that's where you're going to see the massive compound effect. So again, guys, check out my book reviews, check out my other videos, and if you are interested in any sort of high performance coaching, check out my website as well as my LinkedIn profile, and we'll go from there. I'll talk to you soon.